the bad pulse.
Over here!
How do you plead?
I plead insanity.
Hi there, groovy guys, groovy girls, peace, love, dope. Beads, bells, incense, light shows, crash pads, and Hare Krishna. All you groovy freaks, dig it right on and power to the
Still on the blink, so we can forget about the spaceman for today.
Today on the Wayback Machine, we have, from January 10th, 1977, the O. Henry classic, Two Renegades, adapted for CBS Radio Mystery Theater.
The CBS Radio Mystery Theater presents... Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall. There's a spirit that roams the noisy cities, the dusty towns, and the languid villages of America. A gentle spirit, a kindly spirit, and why not? It happens to be the spirit of the kindest and most gentle of all the great American writers, William Sidney Porter. You know him better as O. Henry. Why he called himself O. Henry must remain a mystery. What compelled him to write constantly, steadily, day and night, almost without rest, must also remain a mystery. Indeed, though his life seems to be an open book, he must be considered one of the most mysterious figures in our literature, which means he has a home here on Mystery Theater.
Oh, my beloved, querido, you have come back to me.
Senorita, you've got me confused with someone else.
Have I? But you have blonde hair.
Millions of men have blonde hair. Tell your brother not to point that gun at me.
Oh, does it matter? You're handsome enough.
But, Senorita...
And one man is very much like another.
Well, just explain to your brother and his men...
Oh, it would be too complicated. It would be more simple if we married.
Our mystery drama, Two Renegades, was especially adapted from the O. Henry classic for the Mystery Theater by Sam Dan and stars Robert Dryden and Ralph Bell. I'll be back shortly with Act One. Never give a sucker an even break seems to be the motto of today's get-rich-quick fraternity. However, one of the great experts in this field, O. Henry, believed that in order to handle a sucker properly and profitably, he must be given all the breaks he could reasonably expect. O. Henry created a never-to-be-forgotten band of absolutely delightful flim-flam artists, bunco spielers, and con men who took your money with such style and grace it was almost an honor to be a victim. For instance, there was Bernard O'Keefe. How to describe Bernard O'Keefe? Well, why not let the master himself, O. Henry, describe Bernard?
How to describe Bernard O'Keefe? Well, my friends, dramatically is perhaps the best way. So, picture, if you will, a buckboard drawn by a smart-stepping mare, carrying within it a handsome young man, a pale, frightened, but beautiful young woman. Oh, she's a peach, especially the way she clings to his arm. They stop at a prosperous-looking farmhouse. She's too shy to talk, but the young man, the words pour forth like a fountain as soon as he sees the farmer.
Sir, please tell me, how far is it to the nearest preacher?
The nearest preacher, huh?
Please, sir, we haven't a moment to lose.
Yes, to be old Reverend Barksdale, but he's already...
Isn't there one around here?
And the preacher and I know Reverend Abel's 4 miles over to Caney Creek.
Oh, my darling, that can't be your father after us so soon.
Jinx, that fellow riding up hell-bent for election. He's dressed all in black. There ain't a preacher right now. Flag him down. Hold down there, Reverend.
Oh, there, Reverend, you are a reverend, aren't you?
Well, son, it transpires that I am the Reverend Abijah Green, traveling to the little Bethel schoolhouse of the preacher next Sunday.
Amen, Reverend. We must be married at once.
Indeed. You must?
Oh, no, Reverend. It's nothing like that. But her pa won't hear about it, and he's got the plow mules hitched up to the buckboard, and he can't be too far behind. Will you marry us?
Well, I'm not sure it's the...
Oh, please, Reverend. This young lady and I, we're very much in love.
Well, I suppose we could ask this older, more experienced gentleman here, this farmer, if we could use his property for the ceremony.
And so they're married. In the farmer's parlor. The farmer grins, breaks out a jug of cider. Farmer's wife sniffles a bit, pats the blushing bride on the shoulder, and that's it. No, wait. I forgot one little detail. The Reverend Abijah Green writes out the wedding certificate.
Folks, we have a tiny legal detail. I have to sign the marriage certificate according to the powers vested in me by the sovereign state of Arkansas, and I require 2 witnesses. Sir, would you and your wife legalize the marital status of this happy young couple?
Reverend, I'd hold that in honor. Tell thee, take your pen in hand.
Right there, ma'am. That's it, and right here, sir. Ah, yes, that's in order.
Son, you want some good advice? You just begin by showing her who's the boss.
Oh, Reverend, and you, sir, and your lovely wife. How can my bride and I thank you for your loving kindness?
Well, I shall write curtain to that scene, because if it goes on much longer, you will all dissolve in tears of joy. And you shouldn't, because it's a fake. Yes, friends, a fake. It's what's known as the I Love You Truly grift. The young man was Mr. Parleyvoo Pickens, the bashful bride, Miss Sarah Malloy. And they are confederates of Mr. Bernard O'Keefe, who plays the Reverend Abijah Green. And he marries them at least 20 times a month. But why? What's the swindle? The money? Oh, well, you see, Bernard O'Keefe takes those marriage certificates and discounts them at various banks. You ask, how can you discount a marriage certificate? Well, those beautifully inscribed documents weren't really marriage certificates. They were promissory notes. And when all the farmers and their wives discovered they were liable for $200 or $300 or $400, doesn't it prove that you should always examine what you sign? However, all this is merely to acquaint you with our hero, Bernard O'Keefe. So then, imagine my surprise one day when I happened to be in the gate city of the South, where the old Confederate veterans were once again united to march beneath the beloved flags of the old lost cause, and I happened to see a familiar face. A face that was so out of place that before I was even aware of what I was doing, I had rushed forth into the heart of the parade and dragged him to the sidewalk. Bernard O'Keefe!
Hey, in the flesh. Now, sir, please explain your violent
I'm to explain.
What? Why, it's the wretch. The ink-stained wretch of the Fourth Estate.
Barney O'Keefe, northerner born and northerner bred, what are you doing here, a-yipping and a-hallooing for the stars and bars?
Why, sir, this is my native land.
Barney O'Keefe, you're talking to me. What are you selling, snake oil?
No, sir.
Hair restorer?
Why do you always look at me and think the worst?
Because the worst is absolutely the best I can give you. Now, what are you up to here?
Well, I would tell you and tell it gladly, if my throat were not so dry.
Oh, well, by a happy coincidence, I believe I spy an oasis of liquid refreshment just up the street, Mr. O'Keefe.
In that case, sir, lead and I follow.
Now, Bernard, why were you marching in the ranks of the Confederate veterans?
Because, my lad, the Confederate States of America did, in its might and power, interpose to protect and defend Bernard O'Keefe.
It what?
Against immediate and lethal assassination at the hands of a bloodthirsty foreign power. After my own United States of America had disregarded my appeal for life, liberty, and habeas corpus.
Yeah, but Barney, the Confederate States of America is no longer a going concern.
Is that a fact?
It's actually been out of existence for almost 40 years. And you, Barney O'Keefe, can hardly be more than 35. So, therefore, when was it that the deceased government you referred to exerted its influence in your behalf?
4 months ago.
4 months ago.
Yes, I am eternally grateful to the Confederate States of America. If it hadn't been for that war, I'd be breathing today with souls so dead.
Barney, is there a story in all this?
No, but I'll give you the facts. You know, I went down to Panama last year.
Yeah, that's where they're going to build that canal.
That's what I thought. And since it seemed like a place where a lot of money would be changing hands, but they're never going to build that canal. The idea of the things keeps Teddy Roosevelt bellowing like a bull, but you can't build a canal in the Panama.
Why not?
Well, the mosquitoes. They got mosquitoes there the size of chicken hawks. And if the mosquitoes don't carry off, the Chagres fever will.
The what?
You know, I better not repeat it. It's so contagious, I believe you can contract it merely by hearing the name. Well, anyway, the day I got there, I caught it. And as I lay dying in this little town called San Juan on the coast, I finally got the doctor, the only doctor in miles, to come see me. Doc Milligan was his name, and the sight of him could give a man a relapse. He had the bedside manner of a Comanche medicine man. And when he put his hand on your forehead, you felt like Captain John Smith just before Pocahontas brought the reprieve. Well, this old medical outrage takes one look at me and bellows,
"You're a damn Yankee, ain't you?"
Yes, I'm from the North, and I'm accustomed to first-class doctor, and I hope my condition ain't beyond your skill, Doc.
Knowed you was a blame Yankee minute I laid eyes on you. I can smell a Yankee.
Now, don't reopen the chasm, Doc. As far as I'm concerned, we're all human beings, even Southerners. Which prompts me to ask, what are you doing so far south of the Mason-Dixon line?
I ain't going back till the capital's reestablished in Richmond, Virginia. And even that's a bit north from me.
You may be here a long time, Doc.
And you'll be here forever, Yank. Less'n you take one of these powders every 2 hours.
Oh, will they cure me?
They cure some, they kill some. You have to wait and see. What kind of Yankee bunco scheme have you brought down here with you, eh?
Well, Doc, as you may know, two gentlemen, the Wright brothers, invented a heavier-than-air machine that flies.
They were Southern boys, I hear.
Well, in any event, I decided to come down here and sell airship lanes.
Airship lanes?
Yes, sir. I bought him up. I have the stock certificates and all. Now, here's a chance to get in on the ground floor. You own the rights to the airspace above the ground. Now, how many lanes shall I put you down for?
Yank, is that a way to talk to a man that's going to save your life?
Well, Doc, I'm only trying to make you rich. Look, for $50, you get absolutely unimpeachable rights to 50 miles of airspace. Yours and yours alone to have and to hold.
Why, you thieving, cheating Yankee. Everybody knows the air's free. How can you cut it up into lanes?
$50, Doc? A finer bargain don't exist. It's a chance of a lifetime.
You low-class, no-account northerner. The air belongs to everybody.
$1 a mile. How can you beat the price? And a 50-mile lane for only $50.
You ought to be horsewhipped first and then taken out and shot.
Now, Doc, because it's you and you saved my life, I tell you what I'm prepared to do. For you and you alone. A special bargain price. 2 air lanes for $50.
Well, now you're talking.
And that's Doc Milligan. Don't lose sight of him. We'll meet him later. We're going to need him later. Anyhow, those powders sure pulled me through. There I was, walking along the streets of San Juan, trying to get rid of my airship plans, when suddenly 2 soft arms seized me in a fond embrace. 2 luscious red lips sought mine in a passionate kiss. 2 flashing black eyes lit up my own.
Querido!
Senorita, I don't believe I've had the honor of...
Querido, you have forgotten. You have forgotten.